Yeah, you're good. And we are back with the WODprep podcast. It is Saturday. Third day of competition has concluded, and it was a hell of a day. It was a lot of fun events. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about some events. We're going to talk about some big front squats. And I'm like always so burpy when I get on here. I don't know why. Yeah, the beer. The beer doesn't why. Well, I didn't have a beer yesterday. I had a Pepsi though. That's probably why. And yeah, we'll talk about how the day went. This was the first day that we got maybe off schedule just a smidge, but it was like only like 3 minutes or something. It wasn't very long.
I think it was actually like a half an hour.
No, it definitely wasn't. Not on the individual side.
Maybe not. I thought that they pushed some events like with enough notice, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe the night before, like from the original schedule.
Maybe.
And this isn't very loud. My ears. Can you guys hear me okay on the stream? Yeah. So how was your guys' day? We didn't really see each other that much today.
I feel like we were all kind of scattered. Yeah, I mean, so I have 2 athletes competing on teams, and that wrapped today completely, so they're done. You know what's interesting? I think that a piece of feedback that they'll probably get was on the team side or the community event side, the organization of the events. I think like total working time, the athletes competed or like, you know, took the floor for 4 minutes, like between the snatch ladder and then the oh my gosh, what was the team event yesterday?
I don't even know the team events
together. But then today had 3 events all within an hour and a half of each other.
Oh, sick.
One being like work, rest 2 minutes, and then a chipper, and they were pretty brutal. I mean, like upwards of, amongst the team of 4, like 40 chest to bar pull-ups / muscle ups for the lower divisions, and then a ton of toes to bar and chest to bar / pull-ups for the last event. So I mean, you know, I just like my athletes were just really tired. They're like, yeah, I feel like I needed to go to the gym yesterday, and then today felt like they were just blasted.
I mean, that doesn't sound too bad though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just like kind of like plays into, you know, like kind of just once again, like what are the tests looking like? I also say that because they got delayed, like they got pushed up like 45 minutes between events. So I mean, you know, doing a bunch of gymnastics and then having 45 minutes to then like go again. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but just some like things that I'm sure that like in like an after action survey, if they send it, they'll report it. But yeah, I mean, on the individual side, I think that it went really well. Like really cool events obviously happening with the standard. And then the 8 rounds, which was another one where like trying to find Kevin, like it happened so fast. It looked like, you know, I warmed my athletes up, went to go out there, and he was already done.
Yeah, it's quick. Did he finish under the cap?
I don't know. Did he?
Yeah, he got 703.
703. Okay. Awesome. And then just watch him do a front squat. So yeah, we can go over all that. CJ, how did your athletes do?
Good. So Rose is sitting 5th with a really good shot to podium based on the one event that is tomorrow. She did great on her front squat. And great on the 8-rounder, paced it really well. She's strong. If you mute yourself like this, you could talk.
We got communication.
And then Jen put herself in a big hole this morning on the standard. Muscle up fatigue is probably our biggest challenge. It's something new to her as far as in volume, and so she ended up getting almost last on that, and it put herself in a hole, and she dug out of the hole pretty good, but it wasn't quite enough, and she missed the cut. She finished 22nd, and so we'll dig into those specifics. She had to hit a PR to stay in, and I called it before, and I was like leaderboarding and like trying to figure out who was strong and who wasn't, and I knew this girl was going to be really close to this number, and I was pretty accurate. And had Jen hit it, and she would have made it through. But it was amazing across. We'll dig into that just a little bit more. But overall, I think the day was really good. I love the events.
Yeah.
The athletes are hurting for sure. I mean, the totality of volume is up there, and we got to see some really, really impressive stuff today.
Yeah.
With the front squat loads from all the age groups, which we're going to go through and look at each age group real quick and just appreciate how big some of these squats are, females and males.
Yep.
And then some of these wild standard times. I just have to make sure that everyone watching, all, I don't know, 15 of you, 17, perfect, know that Miami whipped Florida's ass today, and I'm very happy. It's always a good day when the Canes win.
Honestly,
and they
the
won.
only points that they put up were from their Florida's backup.
I didn't see any of it. I just walked into the game on
he
the
looks
screen.
real good. I mean,
Thanks.
he was like the Gatorade Player of the Nation, I think.
I didn't watch.
You had it on. I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't. I was.
I had watched the first quarter and maybe 5 minutes of the second half, and then I walked in the room and.
Well, he had left it on in the room. So
I didn't even turn the TV on in the room.
We got back here and the TV was on. Maybe we left.
From this morning.
Okay.
And anyways, so I didn't see it to see the game, but I just saw the final score. I'll probably watch it tonight though.
Yeah.
I want to see how Cam Ward looked. Anyways, it was great and we're happy. Let's talk about some CrossFit. I messaged Kevin. We'll see if he's in a mood to get on.
I think he was really happy with it. Like he definitely he missed his second lift at I believe 365, just like a little too aggressive into the bottom. But you could tell he just kind of lit a fire, got pretty angry, and then I think only dropped to 360 because he'd hit 355 previously. And for those watching who might have been a little confused, you had to strip your bar completely and then load it back on, which, when you're in the gym, you kind of make that decision am I just going to clean this back up to the rack or am I going to strip it? So they had to strip it and hit 365.
No, they had to.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
And
they
then,
were required to, which really sucks, by the way.
No,
that was extremely strategic to make that decision or not.
Yep.
It's missing was a really big deal. If you missed, it was a minute, if not
At
more.
Least, yeah.
Out
and
of
in
that.
a 5-minute window, that's a lift plus rest.
Right.
So yeah, definitely something to note there. Saw some crazy opening weights amongst all the divisions, really.
Mm-hmm. Just saw a 45-year-old female squat 275.
Yeah,
bro, that shit was crazy.
Yeah,
with a front-facing bill on, she wore it every event the whole weekend.
Do you know which athlete it was?
I don't know. She got cut.
We'll pull it up.
But she had a ball cap on every workout.
That's respectful.
The entire weekend, even the snatch ladder. Yeah, wow. I was like, good for her. Yeah.
If I'm wearing that, I might turn it backwards if I'm even wearing a hat, but I don't know. I just feel like that would bug me so much. Plus, that hat would get soaked.
Yeah, it was definitely, it was interesting.
Augusta's top low for the men, I think, came in heat 1 from Woodard.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit 450. And I mean, we were actually right by him. And he missed 435, I think, because he was not behind the line. He was there's a red line on most of the floor for the athletes, and actually he didn't have one, but I think it just lined up.
Yeah, it lined up with the line that was there.
Yeah, and his feet didn't clear the line, so even though he hit the lift, it didn't count, so he had to do it again. I think he easily had 465, 470. I mean, the way that he was squatting, his sticky point was so high. But yeah, it looked really good there.
Big weights. Did you organize it? Yeah, Jimmy Woodard. Paul Tremblay hit 435.
Yeah, and Tremblay had 455 on the bar and then missed it. And I mean, he was looking really strong too. I mean, obviously he's a multi-time games athlete.
That sounded like he's what? Oh, there's Kev.
Oh, pull him up.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
You want to reenact that squat for us there, buddy?
I don't know if I can hold my phone at the same time, but
yeah, that bounce.
Yeah, show us the little bounce, the little Camille bounce.
Kevin's.
What's the Camille bounce?
You do a little hip hop
before you go down.
Shake the hips.
You kind of like you pop the bar, and then you drop down. How Camille did her strict press back in 2018.
Oh yeah, you gotta get a little stretch reflex. Get the bar off your chest to get a little oxygen in there.
I don't think the stretch reflex starts at the top of the lift. I don't think that's how that works.
Most Olympic weightlifters don't know that secret, but
is that it? Are you gonna call Lasha and just tell him hey, you should do this when you catch your cleans?
Oh yeah.
How you feeling, buddy?
I feel good. I actually feel better now. 9 events in than I did halfway through the competition. I texted CJ. I'm a little bit regretting not sending it on a few of the workouts today. I think I was a little cautious after I got my shit pushed in yesterday.
Right.
Yep. But Yeah, but it's been super fun weekend. All the guys are like, just really good vibe. It's like none of them are in a grumpy mood. None of them are like not being social and stuff. I think we're all just kind of old dudes that are trying to pretend like we're young and still fit.
I don't know, Will Morad. I mean, you look really fucking fit too, but Will Morad looks really fucking fit. Like top 10 at the games, top 5 of the games, kind of fit. I mean, I know it's a different thing. Oh, we lost you.
Many years, probably. I think we had like a fun race back in 2016, and he's fit as he's ever been. I think I'm fit as I've ever been, but he's fitter than he's ever been.
Hashtag WODprep.
That's right.
Hashtag WODprep.
Compete programming.
Yep.
What's your favorite event been so far?
The wall ball shot one was cool, just because that was like fun for me to just send it, go all out. I think the toes bar one should have been. I was a little thrown off. I got my first clean no rep, and then I was kind of a little thrown off, and I didn't even.
We lost you. Did I lose him?
He's not coming through me.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Kevin. We can't hear you.
Wow.
All right, he'll come back.
TBD.
Yeah, Kevin kept getting a really random note, but Kevin is, to his defense, he's wildly bow-legged, and so if his feet are a little wide and he stands up straight, he doesn't look like.
Is that what they were saying for the clean?
I think so. That's my guess, because there's no way that he caught a power clean, and I don't know, like, because I mean his clean and jerks are the same thing. Like his feet weren't that wide. I saw the video. It just didn't look. It didn't look like it.
Sorry about that. There was an employee that was telling me I need to leave. Excuse me, sir. You need to leave.
Get the fuck out. All right, go ahead. So you got your first no rep, your first clean no rep, and it threw you off.
Yeah, it just threw me off a little bit. That one was I wish I would have been able to fully test that one and all that. That was a really fun one. It was just more of a sprint than I expected, and like I didn't think the fastest time was gonna be 6 minutes. That was quick.
Yeah,
that's super fast.
I feel like the snatch one should have been the most fun one. That was the only part of the weekend I was disappointed in.
Yeah, I agree.
There was some easy solutions to that, but that's all right. It's easy to armchair quarterback later.
Definitely.
What was the most fun event to watch?
Standard, for sure.
Was it?
I mean, everyone
I think
likes
from like a CrossFit purist standpoint, it was. I feel like for like the average like CrossFitter, I think the front squat was really fun to watch.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the standard for those who know about it was cool.
What did that guy in 40 to 44 hit?
Oh yeah, pull up that. Someone in 44 beat whoever was in 35.
Yeah,
it was like 460.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Crazy.
I don't even know who it was. I just heard it, and when we were lining up to go out there, I heard 460. I was like, what? It's wild.
Yeah, I know there's a guy in the heat before you who hit 455, and it looked like he had more in the tank there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, talk about what that kind of felt like for you in terms of the planning and like strategy.
455.
With,
That's fucking wild.
The front squat.
It's weird for me. I used to be the strong dude, and I've really worked on gymnastics and cardio, and the lighter moderate weights, and then my strength kind of has depleted a little bit, and I'd like to.
What's that compared to your lifetime front squat?
I think I've hit 415 lifetime, and maybe 420.
Got it.
So I was still expecting to hit like 400 today.
Right.
But man, I failed my second attempt. I think I just rushed it, and then I was like, this is not good. I had to strip all that weight off and put it all back on, but I was able to salvage it. So, what a noise!
Cold-blooded.
My gosh.
You're welcome.
5 minutes felt like a decent amount of time. I got like 4 attempts, and I think a lot of people got 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think I like loading the bar first, right? I like taking away the need to load the bar and like be efficient, and then everyone has to do like plate math out there. It's just an unnecessary factor when we're lifting heavy, in my opinion. I just don't. I like it when you can preload the bar, so because athletes get out there and they just turn into dum-dums.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it just takes time and energy. You might as well just let them load it.
Yeah, Gus, it was front squat. Cool. How'd you talk us through the standard? You said you felt like you had a lot in the tank.
Oh, yeah. I'd never done that one before. Obviously, I've done Grace and 30 muscle ups and Isabel before, but I think I paced it a little bit. I was the last one out there on the first bar. It actually went through my head. I was like, CJ's going to be pretty disappointed in me here. But I definitely think I could have cut off at least like a minute off my time. I just had never done that one before. I was way too cautious. And the muscle ups, my shoulders were, the lockout was really tough. I wasn't expecting that. And then I got to the snatch and it like felt easy and I was way behind. I was like, I'm just going to start touch and go. And I did 7 touch and go at the end. I feel like I could have done 15 touch and go at the end. So obviously that was a bad strategy. Watching
you, it looked like your pull was the fatigue point. Like your press looked great. Like you didn't look like you were struggling to press out of the dip. It definitely looked like your kip was getting a little wiry. And I figured your grip was like, just like overall, like shoulder girdle pulling pattern just felt or looked fatigued. Not so much your press, but that's interesting to hear that your press did.
Well, because I was already feeling it like 15 clean and jerks in. I was like, this isn't good. Like the shoulders, right. Which surprised me. So, but I think it's just a culmination of the weekend and the way that they ordered the events. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of, but it was all because of scheduling and
right. Oh, you mean how you went out of order?
Well,
you went in order today, didn't you?
Well, yeah, today. But I just mean like I would have originally ordered the events differently anyway.
How would you do them 1 through 10? I mean, it's probably like a big ask right this second without staring at them.
Oh no, I mean, I like to see people lift heavy earlier in the competition. I just think it's cooler to watch and, you know, makes CrossFit look cooler. I think that if we're going to do tired lifting, it should be for reps, you know, like the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if we're doing a pure 1 rep max, I want to see people lift heavy and fresh. So I'd put that earlier.
Well, you said you felt better today, though. Do you think you would have done as well yesterday, 385?
I just felt horrible after those wall balls, and I would definitely have separated the wall ball and the bike workout.
Yeah.
That was just me personally. I had nothing on that bike, and I really wish I would have been able to go with that workout fresh and try to beat John Young, talk some smack.
Perfect.
I'm going to go home and test it on Monday.
Could have been worse.
On Monday?
No,
you're not training on Monday. We're
that.
fucking fighting if you train on Monday.
Okay, Coach CJ told me not to train on Monday.
Jesus Christ. I told Jen she doesn't get to train for a month.
But I only have 364 more days till next
364 more days till hockey tryouts.
Legends. No, till Legends, not hockey tryouts.
You can train on Thursday. That's
people throwing change plates at me and light dumbbells and take it off the chest.
That's right. I like that. I think that's good. You just stand there at the wall that you're going to paint for Coda Iron Games. It's like a target practice. What was, did you execute your strategy on the standard? Like, did you go into it thinking you were going to do 6-6-5-5-4-4?
No, I was going to go a little bit bigger. I was going to do 6s all the way through. And it was already pretty tough by the time I got there. Yeah. And one thing that, you know, we don't talk about that much, but like the higher rings always throws me off a little bit.
Right.
And I'm used to it.
Were they much higher than yours at 15 feet? Don't they hang from your rope?
I feel like you guys have like short straps, right?
Ours is short straps. They hang from 12. It's just a little bit different movement, like on the kip. And I just tell myself to calm down, and it like kind of takes care of itself. But the extra stability gets me a little bit.
Right.
Sure.
Like I was one of those guys that tore his pec in 2017. And it was just because the straps were so long and I wasn't used to it.
Definitely not to do with what was before? What workout?
That was such a weird. I never would have looked at that
vested workout. The 246. What was it? Nate. Yeah, vested.
Yeah, but
there's no way that had anything to do with it.
No, I don't even. I mean, yeah, obviously a little bit, but I mean, people were tearing their pec in like training and stuff, and then I tore my pec in the warm up area and still went out there and did the workout, and then I couldn't.
Very intelligent.
I mean, gotta send it.
You gotta take the floor, baby. Come on now.
But what's interesting, so it was 20. I still remember it was 21, 15, 9, 80-pound dumbbell snatches and dips, and then I healed up my pec, and then we did the team series when that used to be a thing. Casey and I, and it was like we were all about the team series. And like the other big names, like the big names, like didn't take it very seriously. And Casey and I took it so seriously. We podiumed twice, I think, for team series.
Yeah.
But one of the workouts was 21-15-9 light dumbbell snatches and bar muscle ups, and I tore my pec again. Something about those like dumbbell snatches and bar muscle ups. I don't know, and muscle ups.
Interesting.
So don't do dumbbell snatches and dips ever, I guess.
Ever, right? Ever.
I don't know.
Listen to Kevin. Avoidance is the answer. Progressive overload or graded exposure. Absolutely not. That sounds like a bad idea.
Well, I never would have expected that combo to be so bad.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. There's probably some science in there somewhere.
I don't know if I want to open the door of like that year at regionals, they had like a lower pull-up bar to hang the rings from, and they didn't, like they could have done that. And I think that would have solved it, but that's neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. All right.
Did you see Dave
Why do you
Castro
think you got
was
no
here?
reps on your, what?
Sorry. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
What'd you say?
I said, did you see
Look, a
Dave
squirrel.
Castro was here?
He was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I
Don.
was kind of surprised. Oh, I didn't see Don.
Don was here. I actually saw Dave a few times, and he always had his entourage or his couple people with him.
Yeah.
I saw Don solo a couple times too. I was like, that's risky to get like one of these. It's like,
I feel like honestly, like most people like.
oh yeah, they don't know who the fuck
Yeah.
Don is for sure. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not that recognizable. Okay, so on your cleans, why do you think you were getting no reps? You think it's because you're bow-legged as fuck?
Dude, well, all right. First of all, I've never heard of that standard.
Right.
That
Well, it's an old. It's
See?
like the old school. It's like old school.
Yeah, but like where you have to recover.
But
Like,
you're
I
right.
kinda
It's
get
been
it,
10
but-
years, 10 plus years removed of anyone worrying about that.
like I don't want to see people starfish like in an unsafe manner where your knees are caving in, and like I've seen somebody like really mess up their knee like that, but that's not what was happening.
Right.
It was like more narrow than a sumo stance, and I
Right.
sumo pretty narrow, and it's like literally a power position of like what you would play defense in any sport.
It wasn't the
It's
same
like
judge,
how-
was it?
It was two separate workouts. I got no reps on the
Right.
same thing, two separate
But
times.
it was a different judge.
They said feet outside the shoulders, so I think they were trying to say I have narrow shoulders. Bullshit.
Yeah.
I need
need
to broaden
some-
my shoulders so that I can
Broaden.
not get no repped.
More bench press.
Maybe that'll help with the dips too.
I hear it's more cowbell. Okay.
I just never heard of that standard. Have you
So
guys?
is that why you got no reps in the total bar workout?
Yeah, both times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Feet too wide. Feet too wide. No rep.
I'm
Interesting.
curious if that's also potentially like
Are you getting yelled
yeah, you
at?
getting kicked out again.
No, I was talking with somebody else.
But yeah, I mean, like I know in some of the events, like the spacing seems pretty tight, and especially when you're flinging around a heavy barbell that like extends
don't-
potentially wider than the lane. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like, I think the rule of like if your foot touches the tape line is very fair.
Sure,
like,
sure, but you got to really
sure, or if
starfish
the
if
weights-
that's the case.
It was literally like 1 inch wider than my squat stance, approximately. But whatever.
Yeah,
it's fine.
that's weird.
It's not a big deal. Like they in the warm up area, or in the briefing, they said that. I just don't like the rule more
Right.
than I it's my own fault.
It is interesting
They
considering
also
they
let you
allow.
step over the burpees. Did you see that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made Jen step over the
Yeah.
burpees.
I think it was
And it
helpful, but
helps.
it was very awkward.
Yeah,
the
if you're
first-
not used to it, if
first
you don't
round-
practice it, it's really awkward. Like Jen was doing it, and in hindsight, she could have taken like one less step and just made
Yeah.
a slightly larger step coming out of the burpee, and would have
Yep.
taken one whole less step per rep going down each time, which maybe
Yeah.
half a second. And then she would have probably gotten like 4 or 5 spots higher. She was efficient with it, and she paced really, really well. But we've never done step over
Yeah.
burpees ever in
Yeah, I've
training
never-
at all.
Yeah, I've never practiced that.
And she came out there, and I was like, "You're going to step over the bar." And she goes, "I don't have to." And I was like, "No, you're going to step over the bar." She goes, "Oh, you want me to?" I was like, "Yes." She goes, "I don't know how to do that." And I was like, "You'll figure." I was like, "You'll figure it out on the fly." And it helps. She for sure probably would have
It
blown up
definitely
more.
helps. Yeah.
Yep.
I figured it out like halfway through. It would have been nice to already have it, but
Yeah, I wonder if
but
it's
it
that
also made it a
situation.
faster workout. Then that means
Right.
could have pushed other areas. But
Did you feel
What do you do?
yourself being super perpendicular to the bar, or could you have kind of gotten away with that like kind of half diagonally facing the bar, and then you can kind of step in and lean into that step over the bar? Or were they being pretty strict on being like deadpan, like 90 degrees to the bar?
I don't know. They didn't even really mention it.
Right. Because I feel like that's like, if I was there, I'd do that, where like, you know, you can kind of, like a burpee boss jump over type of thing.
Yeah, I got you. That's not going to help me.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's not the part. That's not the part that I don't like about the burpee.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah, what do you think about the event tomorrow? Kind of short, kind of dirty?
No, I think it's a fun one. I don't think it's dirty. If it hurts, you are crushing it, kind of thing. You know.
Sure.
What's your rep scheme?
What is it? 8. It's 8, 12, 16.
8, 12, 16 for you.
So it's 36 bar muscle ups. That's mine, guys. That's my backpack. That's mine.
Don't touch my
Sorry
shit.
about that.
Do you not know who I am?
Do you not know I'm in
Sorry,
top
guys.
10 and 35, 39.
I am what they would call an elite male.
An elite old male.
I don't know about that.
What? Okay, so awkward dumbbell pattern plus bar muscle ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I think
You
it's
want,
just
you want
it's
a
just
little
a
peck
bar
massage
muscle up
beforehand?
It is a
No.
bar muscle up workout.
It's just.
Yeah,
a
I
bar
wasn't gonna
muscle
say it.
workout.
That's like saying the yips. What's wrong with you?
I'm telling. I can prep them beforehand if you want.
Can you?
Oh,
I bet you
competition's
can.
almost over. If it
Don't
goes,
give
it
him
goes.
our room number.
If the pet goes, it goes. It's fine.
Hey, are you going to dinner soon?
I'm gonna have a chill night.
All right, you don't want to.
so
You don't have
all
dinner with
the-
us.
You can come over to the Airbnb. I got a lot of food.
That sounds aggressive. That sounds way less chill.
Um,
Isn't there like 35 people in that Airbnb?
the Kolkota crew, which by the way, first place for the 55 plus
Yeet.
team,
Plus.
first place for the 35 to 45. So they, basically I'm pretty shitty athlete and they got first on both. But they're going to go out and celebrate. They're done. So
Nice.
the 27 Airbnb house is vacant. It's empty. So I'll be chilling.
Word. All right. Well, we'll hit you. We'll discuss after the
right.
call. Cool, man. Well, any overview thoughts on the weekend so far for us?
I hope that this has a little stability,
Sure.
here. This is way cooler than the Masters experience that our athlete at Ironview had last year at the actual games. Obviously, it's cool being at the actual games, but I think this is just a way better experience for Masters, and like there's been so many spectators.
I mean the
It's all friends and family.
it is, but I mean there's over 1,000 people in here, right?
Yeah.
At any given time,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's 500 athletes in total, but I think that I agree. I think they should keep it in the same place. I think they should run it exactly the same. And I think that's what's going to help create some stability. I think you're right there. And I think that's definitely that should be the goal of it, right? Is like commit to similar to the games, one spot, anchor in, and it doesn't need to change, right? Like if you're going to do a convention venue type thing, right? Like get the city to buy in. There's plenty of stuff around. We're literally next to like 6 huge restaurants in a football stadium. It could easily expand without leaving. And so, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's a good roots, like it's good root setting and like a good inaugural type year, as long as they make an effort to build on it and not change it a ton.
I think it would have been even cooler if they could have had the teens here too and have it all in one place, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Based on the attendance at the teens, I wouldn't doubt if we see that.
Yeah, I just think
It's
that
empty,
pretty
empty. It's empty. I mean,
stinks.
there's no one there.
Well, so I think there's a
Masters
few
travel
things
well.
with there though. Like it's a venue that is like they do a lot of indoor outdoor stuff. They do a lot of outdoor stuff too exclusively. So I feel like it'd be like a little bit more skewed there. It's like done, or if it's at a different place than it was last year. I mean, I know
No,
it's
it's
in
in
the
the same
same.
place. It's
Yeah,
good.
like it's like a small enclosed area for the actual indoor things.
Well, they did a lift inside of a
Right.
stadium,
Yeah. Okay, they did. Okay.
or like an arena,
Yeah.
and there was like 6 people in the stands.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, but I agree.
It's cool, though.
I agree. I think bringing it here, I mean, there's enough space in this venue to add a whole nother floor.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you brought the
Yeah, yeah.
pit volunteers and the pit team here, I mean, they could run it simultaneously,
Yeah.
even if it was on its own complete different schedule. Like it was just in the same building, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Then like sponsors get double dip kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of room here. There's so much room.
Yeah, that the venue is really.
They need another warm up area.
Yeah, there's a lot of athletes here,
Yeah.
but I mean, even so, they could
There we go, a little
probably
insider view.
they could probably just have had more equipment and it would have worked.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
think
I
it'd
mean,
be
the only warm up area that I've ever seen like the games is the games, and every other warm up area that I've ever seen in any competition ever is like this.
Yeah,
It's packed. It's overdone. You have to share bars. You have to share everything.
I thought
They
it was
probably
fine,
could have left.
actually.
They probably could have left more echo bikes. That's probably the only thing. And brought
Yeah,
a
it was
rower.
interesting,
I mean-
Kevin. I feel like for your last two events, I mean, probably just because you guys go last, like it was pretty spacious.
Yeah,
But,
no,
I mean,
like
you know.
during
Maybe-
before
maybe I
in the
have a
morning,
skewed
Kevin.
view,
In the
yeah.
morning, Kevin. There's like 250
Okay.
athletes warming up at the same
Okay.
time. I mean,
And I know
it's a
tomorrow,
little
like, there's
hectic.
no teams. So.
There was times where there was a ton of athletes in there, but I would argue that like that actually forces me to like, talk to, some of the guys I haven't seen in many years.
Right.
And like we have, we were warming up, we had like 6 guys on one bar for front squats. We didn't have to be on the same bar, but at this point we're all, just buddy and, I'm actually like rooting for some of the people that are ahead of me that I'm like wanting to do well, and
Yeah, maybe.
that's a little bit different vibe than, regional semifinals when everyone's like cutthroat and
Yeah.
all that. But I thought it was actually plenty of room in the warm up area, even when there was a ton of stuff going on. But maybe that's the timing I was in there.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think consistency over the years and like trying to find a way to sustain the prize purse is what's going to keep people coming in some capacity.
Yeah.
Like
Liz said something about that. She was like, "Hey, 35K up for grabs. Maybe you should train for that next year, Kev."
yeah. Figure it out.
Will Morad said he's retiring. So yeah, who knows? I don't know if he is. He's too fit to
He
retire.
said, dude, y'all,
He's-
for those that haven't been
I'm
watching,
very impressed.
I'm
Very
super impressed. I think I would like to see him go through like what was it, 18,
How does
15 and
how does that
whatever.
standard
Muscle
time
up in
stack up to the games when they did
it's
it?
theoretically a world record, but
Yep.
there's some transition stuff
Yeah.
that he probably didn't
suck
have.
It, Ricky Garrard. Suck it, Ricky
That's right.
Garrard.
Well, so the way
I
Ricky
mean-
did it, Ricky moved it a little bit, but I don't think he did. I don't think he really did. I think when because they did it on Hiller's video.
Got it.
He was sub 8, but it wasn't faster than Frazier's at strength and depth. No, strength and depth. But it was still sub 8. But I don't know if he moved the bar, and I don't know how strength and depth did it versus the games. So not moving the bar.
I think Will's doing that whether you make him move the bar or not. Even if you say, hey, you have to move forward on the rings every 10 reps or whatever, he's going to barely strategize differently and do just as well.
Yeah, he did 5s the
Yeah.
whole time.
Oh, well, so it wouldn't have mattered then.
Yeah, he did
know?
5s and was really, really fast. I mean, he was 214 off the clean and jerk. And then, I mean, if you gave him the time, right, like he walked in the snatches. He didn't, I mean,
Sure,
I don't
he
want to
didn't,
say
like,
he had a
sprint to the
ton in the
finish.
tank by any
Yeah.
means, but I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't look,
He didn't
he
even
wasn't
need to,
rolling, he wasn't rolling across the fucking mat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, so if there was like a gun to his head, I think there's definitely quite a few
we know
seconds that
he
could come off the
front
clock.
I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a moment. I think
I'm ready.
that's so
For
cool
it.
though. Like, well, it's just like he's 35, and I
Right.
truly do think he's probably at the top of his game right now. He's just beat up, Like it's just
Sure.
a little harder to recover from the injuries and stuff. But like, I'm 37, and I truly do feel the fittest I've ever been, and I'm not just like saying that to say it. Like that's wild to me. I thought I would be. Thanks, WODprep. But that's wild to me. That's like, and I think that, obviously I'm biased, but I think that CrossFit can like highlight that and all that as
Right.
much as possible. Of like, it is. I mean, I can't believe that there's a 40 to 45-year-old, a 40 to 44 that front squatted that is fit enough to make it there. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
it's not
there's
impressive to me that someone can
55-year-old
squat
in the
that.
team that squatted 385. It's
Say
crazy.
that again?
That's crazy.
Yeah, there is a 55-year-old in one of the teams.
Oh,
that
Santa.
squatted. Yeah, Santa. Yeah.
Santa.
But like, I'm
Schwann
saying
Schwann
that
cross.
in order to make it there, you have to be very fit also.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I
Plenty
think
of-
that's something
there's plenty
too.
It's right
of
there,
like
it's on the
older
ground.
people that can just squat a lot of weight but can't do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
I
get
think
some
that's
food.
the important thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to eat with us?
I'm eating with my parents. They came all the way out to
Fine.
There you
Alabama.
go.
I mean,
See,
yeah.
you could have said that earlier, and I wouldn't have pressured you.
Oh, I
Now
just
he
sat
feels
down.
bad.
Oh, my legs.
All right.
Oh, all right.
Good job,
Catch you
buddy.
guys later.
We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. I need more coaching next time.
We love
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Oh, you'll take some coaching. We'll talk about that later. All right.
Bye.
Love you. Okay,
See ya.
bye. It's on the other side. All right. We're trying to plug our computer and it's going to die. It's in the corner. Yeah. Sweet.
I just want to say, I feel like, Kevin more than most, in my opinion, like really defines also like what it means like compete the right way. Because I know he talked about like being buddy and like doing all this stuff in the warm up area. I feel like a lot of athletes, especially at the individual level, and I mean everybody is allowed to compete the way they want to. But he's like giving knuckles to everybody beforehand and like cheering everybody on too. And like the statement that like I'm actually cheering for those above me on the leaderboard is kind of cool. So, yeah, I feel like, if you're wanting to get into like the realm of competing and are looking for a fit old dude to model after, he's the guy.
Kevin is very much I've only known Kevin for like I don't know, a year, not even a year. And I definitely look up to him. But on that note, definitely a different conversation. It's fun. It's so interesting. I don't know why we disagree so much, but I think I don't mean to do it on purpose. I really don't. I think that's a fine way to compete, but I think that's like the CrossFit true blue sense of like foundation of community.
Right.
But that's like what Kevin is. I I tell all my athletes not to fucking do that.
Well, yeah, but
I'm like, but Kevin can turn on a killer instinct within the workout.
Yeah.
And some people can't when they are too friendly in the back.
Right.
And so as long as you can make sure that when the clock starts, you're like, if I need to hurt somebody, I will to make sure that I come out on top. Kevin would.
Yes, for sure.
And so, but anyways, it is an interesting thing, that he is so friendly and like so labradoodle like.
But yeah, no, I mean, even at the gym, like if you like go and train with him, like as soon as it starts, like
he talks, he chirps hard.
Yeah, he chirps shit.
Chirps hard. I walk in there and he's like, "You gonna lift?" And I'm like, "No, motherfucker, I can't."
Like,
you know that? He's like,
worked
see you
into
later.
some jerks with him. He's like, "We're gonna put more weight on." I'm like, I mean, this is like, and we were working at a range of like what, like 80 to 90%. I'm like, this is my 90%. He's like, well, you're gonna be at my 90% today. I'm like, okay. So I mean, there's definitely like that kind of.
Yeah, he writes the percentages and he fucking blows them out of the water every week. Cool. Let's pull up some of the front squats. Let's just kind of sift through. Yeah. So let's go through the women. We know the guys were fucking savages across the board. I just want to go through. Let's go 65 down, and we'll just see what the women did across the board, and then just to give all of them some love. The top.
Yeah. So is it still kind of a runaway with Patty now, or?
Yes, but Patty can't do a bar muscle up. What's her point lead? Oh, it went away.
Looks like
she gave up a little bit. She got fifth. What was the top? 65 female, Denise Moore. What is that?
I can't be reading that right.
190.
190. Wow. Okay.
Dude,
I
sick.
thought I was reading 200. So I mean, yes. I mean, it doesn't matter if she can do a muscle up or not.
She's not up by 200 points, so she's only up by 30 points. And so if there are, it just depends on the girls who can, because the girl in second can.
If that's the case, no, it's definitely still on.
So all right, 60 to 64.
205. From who?
Oh, Lori McChesnick. Lori has been a previous games winner, 55-59. Competed against Rose a lot. Lori is very strong and very fit. Is she in the lead? No, she's in fourth.
No,
no, it's organized by the squad. 205 for 60 to 64. Amazing, y'all. I think it was this. No, in the 45. Go to 55. 235 from. I'm looking at that. Oh yeah, Joanne Cooper. She was the #1 qualifier. I think she's a TTT athlete with Brennan. She's She's super fit.
No, she got 215.
Oh, she didn't win. Claudia Ragsdale. Also very fit and very strong. Yeah, man, it's wild. Let's see. So what do we got? 215 or 235. Teresa Harris, 225. Claudia Shauna, 205 with a PR. That was a big PR for her. It's wild to conceptualize a 55 to 59-year-old PRing a lift if you've been training for any measurable amount of time.
Yeah.
Right? Like if your training age is in the 8 to 10 year range, or more, and you hit a PR like in your 50s, CrossFit just says fuck you to physiology and aging science across the board. It's crazy. It's so mind blowing to me. You just read and read and read 3 to 5% every decade, osteoporosis, atrophy, etc. And dude, some of these girls are just like, you know what? I don't really care what science says. I'm gonna hit bigger lifts all the way into my 70s.
I think something that's kind of cool too is, we talk about like the CrossFit Games from like the individual standpoint as being like, the top 1% of the 1% of the 1%, right? And, I feel like with the Masters athletes, like that same notion doesn't necessarily get applied all the time. But I mean, looking at some of these, like some of these front squat weights in the 50 plus division, from the women and from the men, like taking in totality how they have to qualify to get here, and all the stuff that they have to do. And then like compare that to just like some of like the Masters athletes in your own affiliate, which once again, doing like amazing things. It just puts it into perspective even more how fit these people are and like how they are like the top 1% of the 1% of all of the Masters athletes in the world. So I mean, I feel like that's just a really cool thing too.
So how much do you think that adrenaline or being able to express that in competition has an effect on the Masters being able to PR?
So like specifically to the female or just like a generalized question? So yeah, I think it plays a huge role, right? I mean, I think we understand that, there's more hype. It's hard for people to train solo. Like if you train solo all the time, right? I think that has like a big limiter in and of itself. A lot of people aren't like purely intrinsically motivated all the time, right? And so having everyone there, I mean, every age group had close to 1,000 people watching at any time, right? Like it did, had all your friends and family in that age group, right? So there's 20 people on the floor, okay? All of them brought fucking 37 people, right? Oh my God, dude, Masters, dude, grandma travels fucking well. They just do. I don't know if it's because they all got money and they're like, all right, we're flying the whole thing. I don't know what it is. They travel well. They get dressed up like a little league baseball team and they're all there supporting whoever was on the floor. And then other people around. I know I met a lot of people this weekend that weren't direct friends and family that were here. And so they don't get that. They've never got that at the games, right? Like that. And so obviously it wasn't inside of the Coliseum, right, or Dickies Arena or the tennis stadium, right, or on the soccer field where you have all these other people, but it was more intimate. It was just like baseball, little league bleachers, but they were full. A couple hundred people sitting in it. Yeah. The rail gates 4 or 5 back all the way across, right, all 3 sides covered, right, and everyone watching. And that's a big deal to a lot of people, and they're really, really hyped when girls or guys would hit lifts. They would, I mean, the whole crowd would cheer, right? Like the Tota Bar workout was really, really heavy for a lot of the older females. Yeah. And when they would make a lift, like everyone would lose it, you know?
That's
and
a
so,
good point too. That was a one.
And so same with muscle ups and the old, and you know, in the 54 and making them. And so it was really cool. So yes, I think that has a big Orlando. I think that has a big role. Maybe not like just like the simplicity of adrenaline, but like situational factors playing a role to people hitting big lifts. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think something too is, not to kind of like stereotype all the Masters athletes, but especially with that front squat workout, like they're corralled for a while.
Yeah, I know. So fucking long. It's so annoying.
So I mean, like that's if you're, I feel like if you're
Corrals are
in
stupid.
the sport of CrossFit, that's like an art of learning how to do that, like how to warm up, how to prime, how to wait in the corral and kind of get yourself ready and self-motivated. But I mean, I think it's something too, where I think adrenaline plays in that factor even more if you're, 62 and you haven't touched a front squat bar in like 10, 15 minutes, and now you're loading up to probably what's like 80 to 85, maybe even for some of them 90% of like your 1 rep front squat. So I mean, I think that plays a huge role too. Like, I think that the crowd, I think that setup is like super important to some of those lifts that we saw today, and some of like the movements that we're seeing with people hitting their first muscle up. Like, imagine we're in the soccer stadium or the tennis stadium or the Coliseum, and like you're front row, but like if you're front row, there's still probably good like 40, 50 feet maybe even from like the field.
Oh yeah,
field
yeah,
of play.
yeah. The intimacy was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you are like, we could like, I could put my hand out and touch Kevin.
Yeah, it was great to be able, and like
squat.
from a coaching perspective, it was great to be able to like, hey Jen, don't fucking squat yet. Hey Rose, chill the fuck out. And that was really nice to do, because you can't do that in the Coliseum, right, or the soccer stadium. Well, you could last year. They let coaches in there, and I was like, oh look, they let coaches closer the first year that I wasn't a coach. Anyways, yeah, it's nice to have that intimate kind of a feel to it for sure. Larry Young, what do you say? Can you pull it up?
Some of these old folks.
Yeah, some of these old folks. I thought you said some of these old folks. Some of these old folks are pretty strong, for sure. They are. Larry, how much?
Larry,
would you front
you're
squat?
pretty strong. We need to get you on the podcast.
Yeah, we're ready to coach you and get
right in front of us.
Get you to the games. WODprep sponsored. All right, where are we at? 50 to 54.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's the lift? Whoops.
Workout 9.
Yeah.
It's 240.
Oh, Jen Dieter. Jen's been a perennial Masters athlete and games athlete and team athlete. What does she hit? 240. It's big. Crazy. 55 was 235 and 50 to 54. And Jen, I think, just aged up to 52. So she's at least 5 years younger than the 55, which is a really interesting regression or lack thereof over 5 years, right? And so I think we're going to start seeing this, that some of these ages are just going to start to blend.
Yeah.
And it's solely because a lot of these girls have been doing CrossFit a long time, right? And they've been lifting consistently for 10 years or whatever it is.
It's an interesting thing to think about. I mean, it was obviously a scheduling decision with the teams, but the teams were broken up into 3 divisions, 35 to 39. Actually, it might have been 39 to 44, and then 44 to 55 or 54, and then 55 plus. Do you see any situation where that blends on the individual side?
No. 10 years?
Yeah.
No, they would lose their shit.
Okay.
Like in a competitive, like actual division standpoint,
like a 35 to 44 division.
No, not at the highest level. Okay. They do that in like local comps.
Sure, but
because
I
there's just
like
not
what
enough.
You're saying with how they're all kind of blending together with.
They would lose their dude. The master. Well, I love all masters, man. They would. That would be a bad day. They would complain. Bad. 35 to 44. Might not complain the worst, but everyone else, they would lose their shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I mean, like, as seeing that go down, there's a huge difference in a lot. Like, you could see the athletes in the field that were 44 and the ones that were 54, right? But I mean, I think in that lower division, like, it could be interesting to see.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, there's definitely.
I mean, give it 7-8 years, and all these people that are just as fit, put Will Moore in 44.
5 years from now, sure,
and put some of those guys who are now
I'm really interested to see like when like our glory days people, right? Like Panchik, I know Rich is a Masters, but like when that whole like all of them. Right, because like the biggest names aren't going to go because they've made their money and they did their thing and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, you make your money, but 50 grand's 50 grand.
Yeah, for sure. Right, but like your biggest name are still making money off of whatever it is. But there's going to be your mid games athletes. So like your 11 through 40 from the years of 2013 or 2015 to 2020 that are going to start aging in.
Right.
Like who beat Taylor in that swim workout? What was his name? He was a games athlete and he'll age up soon. And I mean, he's looked super fucking fit.
Swim work.
The swim workout on Kill Taylor.
They did a swim workout?
Yeah, he got beat
Wow.
by Matthias something. Anyways, he is a games athlete.
Feebig?
Huh?
No, he's a games
No.
athlete.
Yeah, but that's Morris Feebig.
Yeah.
Anyways, so these athletes are going to age up.
Yeah.
And we're going to start seeing more and more individual games athletes in the Masters because they got bored or they're like, all right, I'm ready to do this again. Right? Like Sam was there and Emma was there. Did you see them?
No.
Yeah, Sam and Emma. Yeah.
Nice.
Sam was, coming off a knee surgery, but she's going to do it. She was like, oh, I did the Open.
Oh, Sam Briggs, yeah.
And so she had knee surgery. Emma McQuaid was there. And so Rich was there. He came through on Thursday or Friday. And so I think these athletes are going to come through that aren't already making buku money, right? Because they just have an addiction like all of us, right? And they just got to do the thing. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm really interested to see it on the women's side because the women are doing it a lot less, right? It seems like, and so I'm really interested to see like what. And I think it's just because the average age of the female is relatively younger than the male. So I'm excited to see them age in and see if they do it. And if they do, it's going to create more draw. It's going to keep the prize purse or increase the prize purse. It's going to pull more sponsors. Oh, I also heard a ton of sponsors pulled out too, right? So like that seems like there was last minute, obviously from the games. And so I think we're going to see this. The bellhop or the desk clerk at the hotel was asking me, what is this? Are you guys, I heard you guys were at your last place for like 7 years. And I was like, yeah. And I explained
Which day was this on? I'm curious. Was this today?
Yeah, it was this morning.
Huh, okay.
And I was like, if they're smart, they'll stick it here and it'll just be here for an extended period of time.
Right.
Birmingham's easy to get to. Like even flying into Birmingham isn't too. A lot of people that came in flew into Birmingham.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that bad, right? Because it's bigger than Madison's airport, and then it's only a 2-hour drive from Atlanta, and so it's easy to get to. And I really hope they do. But I'm excited for what's to come. All right, let's get through these women. I know we're really hungry. We got to get some food. All right, what are we at? Is this the next? Is this the next?
49.
Oh yeah, 45-49. Courtney Stutzman, 275. Y'all, she with a ball cap on, like she was heading to the soccer field to watch her fucking kids play t-ball. Crushed it, and she smoked it. Super impressive. Jenna Larson, 265. Kelly Friel, who's not in the lead. I thought she was.
Yeah.
She was in the lead. Kim Mullins, a very strong athlete. Kim Mullins, I think, snatches 200 pounds. And yeah, amazing. Jen, our athlete, hit 215. If she would have hit the PR, she would have made the cut. But we made a swing at 225 and we just missed it. All right, 40-44.
285.
Getting stronger. I'm guessing before we even look at 35, I bet this is the heaviest squat. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I don't think
Well,
35.
I think we also knew, but
Huh?
I think we already looked into that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I think we did. Yeah.
Oh, I'm just making a guess. Is
Yeah,
it? I assume it
pretty
is.
sure. I think it was. Yeah.
And it's interesting to see, right? Like if you look at the ladies, right? Like the 35 to 39 looks more like a traditional games athlete, a little bit shorter, a little bit stockier, but like fitness is prevailing way higher.
Right.
And then like
Pierce.
the older athlete, the 40, 45s and 50s, they're really lean and they're all a lot taller. Right? Like they're all a little bit taller. They definitely have more mass on them in general. It's such an interesting thing to see. All right. Was that it?
Yeah, we got 35 to 39.
This matched. 285.
Oh, tied? Isn't that what it was?
Well, no,
Okay, and then Nisler hit 280.
280.
Kelly Clark hit 275. It looks like 285 came from Christelle L. Debs. If I'm saying that right?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
A lot in the 260 range.
Allison Saul, Amy Morton, Caroline Klutz, Mackenzie Riley.
Which I mean, I think is just showing like how strong everybody's getting. Because I mean,
Right.
like, you know, traditionally this is something like anytime you throw in a 1 rep max, it's like a shake up workout, right? Like,
Sure.
you know, you have people that are in the first heat, like putting up times or
Right.
putting up weights. But I mean, if you look at
Well, I
this,
mean, if you look at yes, most of the
Yeah.
time, but I think if you look at the semifinals and the qualifiers, like they were like it really leaned into like, not that it was unbalanced, but like it was very hard for like a purely strong athlete to make it through. Like there was just so much fitness.
Okay, I guess I see what
There
you're
was
saying.
so much fitness to
But
do it
even like
right.
here, like, you know, they're all pretty tight within each other. Like,
Right.
you know, all of the athletes that are still placing overall are within the top 10.
Cool. Well, if no one has anything in the chat, I thank you guys for being here on a Saturday. It is 8:00, and I know we're super, super hungry. And we thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll be on tomorrow, definitely a lot earlier. Competition ends at like 1, maybe even earlier. And maybe we'll actually get Bob or Joe on. Trying to schedule with them has been challenging, but either way, we'll have them on, even if it's post a whole games on just a show throughout the week. But thanks for being here, and yeah, you know, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Cool.